Okay. I'd like to tell you guys a story. This is a journey, the story of a new invention, a new process that I put together. I'm going to tell you about the good, the bad, and the ugly, what works, what doesn't work. And so about 25 years ago, I started buying property in Over the Rhine, saving these just beautiful, these buildings are just amazing, and they need to be saved. And we went down there and we did a lot of work on them and just really, fix them up. And they shine. But there's one problem with these great old buildings. They all have landlord-paid heat. I went into an apartment last winter, and it was literally 92 degrees in that apartment. And it just kills me because these bills are so big, and it just damages these buildings. Like, people hate to own this kind of property because the bills are so high. It's a big problem for me. It's a big problem globally. Heating buildings creates 20% of greenhouse gases. It's just amazing the damage that this does to the environment when people don't conserve their utilities. Now, everybody says that they recycle, and a lot of people do, but a lot of people just say they recycle, but they don't actually really make an effort. And that's, you can't blame them because there's no real incentive. There's no financial incentive. People do what's in their own best interest. So in my case, we would rip out all the old boilers, tear out the radiators, and we'd install 50 separate heating systems. And these systems together were no way near as efficient as one boiler, and they were very expensive. They make those buildings very expensive, but it got the heat bill off my back. And some new thinking was needed, and believe me, for 25 years that I've been thinking about this. About 2.5 years ago, I was having dinner with some friends, and this dinner, we get together regularly, we share the bill. The bill comes and it all gets split up, we divide it. And of course everybody orders the lobster. They get the most expensive wine, and it's like the bill's outrageous. And it really struck me, this was my light bulb moment, that it's the same as my heat bill. So I started looking at buildings and I said, okay, utility savings in buildings, they come really in three ways to save utilities. In the building envelope, the windows and insulation, in the mechanical systems, the boilers, all the mechanical components, and the behavioral, how everybody uses that. Well, guess what? Everybody in the whole building industry is out to sell equipment. They want to sell you new mechanical systems, new windows, but nobody wants to do anything about the behavioral component because nobody's figured out how to do it, or there's no money. It's not big business. Well, I started thinking about we need to get people's behavior aligned. Let's talk about what we have already and have people use it better, use it more efficiently. Think about what we're actually doing with this. And so this is the core concept is that we keep the boiler, we reduce the rent so it's fair, and we charge the tenants the bill based on the temperature of their apartment. It's a very simple concept. Simple, but not that easy to use. But the idea was, we stop the waste by creating a financial incentive. Actually, if people turn the heat down, they save money. It's just that simple. But of course, like all simple things that nobody's ever done before, it wasn't that simple. So I had to get the math right because there's a big algorithm that you have to put together to make this work. And we had to get the hardware together. And we had to get the software together. Scott Miller, who's here tonight, excellent guy. He helped me out a great deal with that. But other than Scott, we ran into tons of dead ends. But luckily, I'm an entrepreneur, and so dead ends for me are clues. They're clues that this doesn't work, so we're going to go over here, because I'm not going to say no, I'm going to keep going. And so we went through 5 mathematicians. The first 4 said it couldn't be done, or they couldn't figure it out, or whatever. I got the algorithm done. Then we had the software developed, which Scott did that, and the hardware took a great deal of time to get the right hardware. But we got all these 3 components lined up. My timeline here from my lobster dinner moment 28 months ago. Spending money, and believe me, spending money in the real estate for a real estate guy has been very tough for the last couple of years. Tough stuff. But now we have green heat and empowering renters to conserve, actually aligning goals, aligning renters' behavior with the environment and with the landlord. Everybody's lined up. This is 20% savings is huge. Like literally trillions of cubic feet of gas can be saved. I saw this car for sale when I was a kid, and I guess why I'm here tonight is I want to know, is this an idea before its time? It's a cool car, but it never went anywhere. Or is this like a knockout punch? I feel very passionately about this but I'd love to hear from you guys after the presentation and get your opinion on this. So we're just going to market now. This will all be told here. I mean, we just finished it up about 3 months ago or 2 months ago, and then we're going out into the world and seeing what happens. So thanks very much.